Hi guys, Hira here. Good afternoon. First of all, apologies for the horrible lighting in this space. I have nowhere to go. I'm actually in the stairwell, and that's a ladder. But anyway, I wanted to get this done, so just bear with us. Topic of this session is technical questions that are specific to investment banking interviews. Okay, so finance, sell side, not buy side. That's covered elsewhere in another video. So this is very much iBanking, either Wall Street firms or niche boutique investment banking firms, okay? All right, so first of all, your interview will have usually three components. The general questions like tell me about yourself, tell me about why you're interested in investment banking, why do you want to work for our firm. So those types of questions I'm not covering here, they're covered elsewhere. You might also get behavioral questions. Tell me about a time you had a conflict with your boss. Tell me about a time you had to make a difficult decision. Again, covered elsewhere. So here I'm sticking to the technical component of your interview, and you'll definitely have a technical component, okay? So here are a list of types of questions that you can expect. So first of all, valuation questions, okay? That's probably going to be a pretty significant portion. So make sure you know the different methods of valuing companies. The most common one is the discounted cash flow DCF method. So just how the methodology behind that, if I remember correctly, you forecast free cash flow and then use a weighted average cost of capital, okay? So that was super simplified, but I mean, make sure you can explain that in detail. Then there might be questions around if a company had to raise money, raise capital, then the advantages and disadvantages of bonds versus equities, okay? So any sort of capital raising activity and how best to, what best financial tool to use. And then the third bucket of questions, and I think, again, this is a predominant part, is the financial statements, right? So, and knowing those cold. So make sure that whatever they're teaching you in your accounting class, that you know that really, really well. The cash flow statement, balance sheet, and the P&L, and how these statements interact with each other, and how if you make a change in one section, how does that impact other sections, okay? Also, if a company did something specific, say for example bought a piece of equipment, then they might say, walk me through the impact of that action on the cash flow statement, the balance sheet, and the P&L. Fourth, definitions. So WACC, weighted average cost of capital, EBITDA, terminal value, anything around, very common concepts and terminology, and asking you to define those. Finally, modeling. So they might say, how would you set up a leverage buyout model? How would you set up a merger model? Quick word about mergers and acquisitions. Usually questions around M&A activity has to do with whether you'll end up with a higher or lower EPS, earnings per share, post acquiring the new company. That's usually what they're getting at with merger questions. Okay, I think I've covered most of the big ones. I would recommend going on Vault, CareerBeam, and also Investopedia. These are good sites to go look up common investment banking questions.